Welcome, everybody. Awesome to have you here. This is John, the Net Guy. We are live on YouTube and Facebook, and today is a very special day. I'm going to be able to show you guys some really cool stuff for your webcamming, for your zooming. I know this pandemic has run far too long for most of us, but when you couldn't get a webcam a year ago, now we've got hundreds of choices out there. Some great ones, some very expensive ones, and some that I don't have it here, but I call them a potato. It's like if you shoot that on a potato, it's pretty funny. So I'm going to let the Amazon Live people in here shortly, but I wanted to talk to you guys first on YouTube and Facebook. I'm trying to get myself set up on Amazon Live. It's a cool platform. It lets me chat with you, lets you get cool stuff. I've actually got discount codes today for some of the products we're talking about that are for this show. So I was working with vendors and doing cool stuff like that for you. So Amazon Live gives me the way to do that. I don't have to futz around with affiliate links and stuff. I get a small commission if you buy during or after the show. So just want to be transparent about that. A couple vendors did send me their products to test out. And so I just want to, I'll be clear about which ones those were. It didn't influence my thoughts on them in any way. But I'm going to let the Amazon Live folks in here. They don't like having splash screens for some reason. But if you want to join on the Amazon Live, use your Amazon app. Click the link in the description on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can join that way. So I'm going to get the Amazon Live folks in here. We'll do another intro again. How's that? Hey, and welcome everybody. It's John, the Net Guy, and we are live on Amazon and a couple other services. If you're on one of those other services, do me a favor, join me on the Amazon Live. That's just another way that I can show you the stuff as we're going to go through them. I can talk about the different products that I'm going to demo today. I'm going to give you a little preview of what's coming up. I'll bring that up here. This is the show outline for today. So we're going to be talking about webcam accessories. It sounds like a lot of stuff, but it's going to go quickly, I promise. Some headsets, some webcam mounts if you don't have a monitor that you want to hang something off of, or if you need a different kind of field of view or different look, you have some really cool options of webcam mounts. I have a lighting choice for you today because that's one of the biggest pet peeves of mine is people don't get their lighting right. And you're either backlit and you're, Emperor Palpatine and nobody can see you, or you're blown out because you're in front of a window. And we'll go through how to tune your webcam to do some cool stuff too. But I'm going to go through some of these products that are available on Amazon. The first thing is you got to sound good. Now, if you guys are in the Amazon chat, I see a couple of you. Let me know if I sound good. Am I too hot? Is my volume up too high? I can turn that down. I can speak a little quieter into the mic here. Am I blowing your speakers out, or does it sound good? Because I'm going to use this headset today because it allows me the freedom to move around, go elsewhere. It's a wireless headset. Hopefully the charge lasts. But I'm going to show you today, and I'm just clicking on it right now. Hey, Pinky, welcome to the Amazon. I'm going to show you the product that I love, and I've used this exact headset for almost 4 years. And the reason I can't say this almost for 4 years is because this headset got swapped out at 2 years, 11 months of daily use when it went bad. I talked to Plantronics about it, and they said, okay, we will overnight you another one. And FedEx Overnight handed me another set. They didn't want the old one, and that was customer service. So first item up from Amazon, and it's got kind of an interesting name. It's the Plantronics Blackwire C3210. It's a mono-aural one-sided ear cup. I like that because you can hear what's going on in the room. You don't kind of got that, cone of shame, cone of silence that you have to deal with. I'm going to pull it up on the Amazon screen here so you can see it. Hopefully you guys can see me there in the corner. And yeah, this is the set. Right now it is $36.50. This is actually the bi-aural. This is the two-sided one. I'm going to click the other one for you so you can see the exact one I showed you and I have on the showcase right now. Very similar in price. This one's $38.99 right now. This sounds good. It sounds good not only coming in, it has a visible mute button. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to have that mute on and know that it's on and I'm in another app. This is really cool. It's got a visible mute button, a call, answer, volume controls right on the cable, and it can control Zoom and Teams mute. So you don't have a situation where you double, triple, quadruple mute. You hit mute one time, you're muted. You hit mute one time, you're off mute. Super easy to use. This is my favorite way to sound, and that's the Plantronics Blackwire C3210. I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, what's the best headset? I do 3 to 6 hours a day of Zoom calls in my day job, and I use this thing, like I said, every single day. And a lot of my coworkers now that may be watching are like, yep, because I've told them about this for less than $40. It's my favorite headset, and it's just a fantastic deal. And the warranty on it is 3 years, and they replaced mine overnight. There was no questions asked, overnight warranty. So I'm going to set that back down there because I got to use that tomorrow. So that is the single ear one. I like that one a lot. If you're a person that likes to have both ears covered, maybe you're having some hearing problems, this one's great. It's funny, the single side, that they show here actually flips all the way over. When I was a kid, I listened to my music too loud. I hope my parents aren't watching, but they told me not to, but I was listening to my music way too loud. This right side is probably 20% less than my left side. So I like to switch my single-sided headset around, use it on the left side all day. It's my good ear. I'm getting old when I say it's my good ear. Anybody else got that in the chat? Let me know about that. If you got a good ear and a bad ear, I feel like my parents now already. So that was the headsets that I recommend, and that's a really good accessory. The other thing, I'm using a mount here, and it's actually a light stand mount for your desk, which is awesome. It's a heavy-duty one. I don't have it in the Amazon carousel, but the reason that I like this mount, and hopefully you can see it here, it's holding a webcam that we have. But the reason I like this mount is, it gets it off of the computer. I was doing some tests yesterday, the day before, and as I wiggle the desk here, my laptop it's like an earthquake going off. And you don't want to get your viewers sick. So as good as my $150 SteelSeries is pleading the fifth. Thanks, Pinky. Awesome. Good to talk to you, man. Welcome. And if you guys are joining here on Amazon Live, hit the follow link for me. Do me a favor. If it's your first time here, it'll let you know when I'm going online. This is John, the Net Guy. I do PC build, tech tips, and gear reviews for anybody, regardless of your skill level, and webcam showcases, apparently. So, yeah, these stands are great. I'm going to show you guys a couple cool stands. Now, I've got some options here for you. Both, I think, are less than $20. We're going to double check that. So that was the Plantronics. This is the Plantronics, not dual art, biaural? Is that what you call it? I would say something like biaural. I'm going to show you 2 new products here. They're from the same company, it looks like. And they are gooseneck and mic stands. So this one I'm going to show you first comes in a box here. It's from the Amada company, Amada Home Furnishings. And if you've ever seen somebody, a podcast or something, has a mic stand that has that gooseneck, it's actually right here. This is the Amada stand, and I've taken it out of the box. I've done all the unboxing because I don't want to spend too much time in this, but it's a heavy-duty weighted stand. I'm going to switch over so you guys can see it a little bit better over here. So heavy-duty weighted stand. It's got a coffee cup holder. I was using that earlier, but it has a GoPro standard style mount. It actually comes with the clip and all the GoPro accessories. Hey, Parker, awesome. Good to hear from you on the YouTube side. If you want to join, the Amazon link is in there. Hey, Houston, awesome. Thank you so much for the follow. That's awesome. Can't thank you enough. That awesome helps me build my following and channel here. So this is another cool option. I would leave this here, except I'm going to be showing you guys lots of cool stuff. If you've got a webcam with a 1/4-20 threaded base, 6 out of the 7 that I'm going to show you today, maybe one less, have the 1/4-20 base on them. So that makes it really good to mount your webcam. If you got a low laptop, nobody wants to look up your nostrils. Well, definitely not up my nostrils. That's why I keep it like this. Or, if you incorrectly have it set too high, maybe you got one of these big monitors and you're looking down at the top of somebody's head. I met one of my coworkers for the first time, and he goes, I thought you'd be a lot shorter because I always had my webcam up too high, and he was looking down on me. And if you're a person in a position of power, if you're in management, webcam etiquette, don't put your webcam down like this or you're talking down to people, and don't get it up too high or people are going to think you're too short. So good eye level, just like you're having a conversation with one, is great. This is a way to do that. I'm going to pull it up here on the Amazon, and we're going to take a look at what it runs right now. Another cool tip, if you want to see everything, I'm just going to go over here, bring myself back into the window. If you want to see everything in my Amazon shop, and the link's in the description here, September 15th webcam event, it's got all these products in here. And I'll throw in the stands as a late edition. But that's another quick way that you can see what we've got in here. And I'm going to look for webcam stand and phone holder. That's one option. There's a click on one you can see here. That's the next one I'm going to show you in a second. And I'm just looking to see if I put that on there. Webcam stand and arm. That's the one. Here we go. And you can see when I purchased this back in August. And it's $16.99. A heavy duty weighted base. Again, this is my coffee cup, the Net Guy. And I'm putting it on there. It's got a nice little base holder for your coffee cup. Keeps it off the desk, keeps things from running into it. Really awesome there. So that is another way to hold up your webcam. It also comes with a phone holder. Now, let's say you don't got the money for a webcam right now. There's a lot of really cool options. I've seen people connect two accounts to their Zoom. So you have your Zoom dialed in on your cell phone or a spare cell phone you might have. Get one of these simple, cheap $17 mounts, put that phone in the mount, and the cameras on these smartphones, even the selfie cameras, usually way better than most webcams. So another great option for you. I'm going to put this out of the way before I hit something with it. And I'm going to show you the gooseneck variety that you have. Now, I like this one. Similar theory here on this. So another really good option. Also got you on YouTube. Houston, you rock, my friend. Yes, I am John the Net Guy on YouTube. So if you haven't visited over there, I'm trying to put out more live content, but YouTube kind of punishes you for that. And I don't know why. I really like to do this stuff. It takes a long time to make a fully produced video. I can tell you that. My wife can tell you that. But I want to do more live content because it's timely, and it is actually a little bit easier for my schedule. Sorry for all the noise here to do that. So now we're going to look at that other one that I was talking about, and I'm going to switch over so you can see it in full view. Now this one has a table clamp. I think I have the different mount option on here, and it has a cell phone clamp. So what I can do is I'm going to go to the side camera here so you can see it in full. I can take this 1/4 threaded, and again, all of the ones here have it. I can put this little ball head on here. And again, the price on this one is $19.69. I'm going to pull it up right now, and it's got a 10% off. So that's on the showcase right now. If you're watching on Amazon, that's in the carousel. It should be popping up for you. Awesome. Hey, Parker, welcome, my friend, to the Amazon. See a few of you guys watching here and there. So you can screw in your webcam to this, and you can move it just about anywhere, down, up, wherever, and it sticks and it stays. Now, I don't know if I could use this for a microphone. It's a little bit flimsy, but most of these webcams, the NexiGo is like a feather. You could set it on there, it doesn't even move, see? So, most of these webcams are pretty light. This is another very affordable option, and it does come with a phone holder clip. So, you got the iPhone 13 on order? No? If you guys saw that announcement. If you've got your old iPhone, we've got an iPhone 8 that I use as a teleprompter and stuff. Actually, this is kind of a cool teleprompter holder. Now I don't have to spend as much money as I did on my teleprompter holder. So you got that, and you can watch your Zoom calls, have your Zoom call, use that as your camera. It's kind of a cool option. So I'm going to set that down, and we're going to get into the fun stuff now. We're going to get into the best and the worst of webcams here. So let's go right into it. I'm going to prep this up for you because when I saw the difference, I was shocked, and I just want you to experience it the same way I did. So I have a new laptop. Don't tell my wife. Okay, you can. And it's a good laptop. It's a 2019 Lenovo. Follow me here. i7, like 10th gen. Decent. 1 terabyte NVMe. Decent. 16 gigs of RAM. Decent. And it's got a potato for a webcam. This is, I kid you not, probably the worst webcam I've seen in a laptop. The only difference is I'm not green. If I was bright green on it, that would be slightly better. Hey, Awesome Lundy on YouTube there. Welcome to the chat. We're talking to him about buying a laptop for a future project. Welcome in. Thank you for joining the live stream here. This is about the worst webcam I think I've ever seen. I'd be embarrassed if you're a professional and you bring this to the table. What are they going to think about the rest of your services, right? You know, if you're having to meet during COVID remotely and you're doing a job interview and your webcam looks like a potato, this is $1,000 laptop with a potato for a webcam. Well, spend a little tiny bit of money and maybe a little tiny bit of time tuning it, and you can get a webcam that looks like this. Now, this isn't even tuned. This is essentially close to the default settings. And we're going to go through which camera is which. You may have eagle eye people, as my friend Mokul is. You know, this is a really, really decent webcam option. I'm going to move my chair here so I can face you guys properly. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so this is you know, a very decent webcam, and we're going to be tuning, and I'm going to show you how to tune up your webcams today, and we'll go through all these. The budget-friendly webcam that I'm going to show you here shortly, that one budget webcam, we tune it, it can look as good as a $160 webcam. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to pull this down. Another cool thing, like I said, this is interactive. So if you've got questions about webcams, if you have a webcam that you bought, maybe it's a Logitech C920, that's not a bad one, let me know and we'll go over that. Again, another thing that a lot of these guys suffer from, and I'll show you the difference on that, is lighting. So I just put on the carousel. Another option, if you're going to be a pro, if you are going to be live streaming a lot, if you're somebody that gets paid to do presentations, I don't know if I would recommend a super budget webcam. If you're somebody that actually is going to care about your parents, you're going to pay for a good haircut. I haven't paid for a haircut in a long time. But if you're somebody that's going to be like that, pay for a good webcam. You know, people are paying for your appearance. You're not paying for an airline. You're not paying for a hotel room. You're not paying all that for food and per diem. Spend a little bit, get a decent webcam, and you'll get your money back out of it. These Logitech webcams, the 920, 922s, people were selling them for over what they paid for them during COVID as well. So let's get started here. I'm going to get the first webcam up on the list. And this one is very interesting. To me, this webcam right here, the Tenvis webcam, and I've done a full video review on my channel of the Tenvis webcam, and I'm looking to find it here. This is the best wide angle value camera. I can't say exact prices. There's some rules about that here. I can show you the price when I jump over to it real quick in the browser. One of the best webcams. Hey, there's a doppelganger there. There's a John Freeman with an H in it. That's the only way I know that we're different. But yeah, this Tenvis webcam right here, and we're going to go check what the current price is because they fluctuate a lot. But and I haven't even peeled the outside sticker on it. It is a clone of the Logitech Brio. But you know what? If you guys were watching, almost all of these look identical to each other. So I'm going to bring up the Brio 4K. I'm going to bring it on the side screen here. If I didn't get them close enough, you might mistake one for the other. They are that close in exterior look and style, and that's okay. You know, it is a very much a clone of that. It has a super, super wide angle. Now, I built something for you guys today for the show. This guy. It is not a replica of a Roman Colosseum, and it is not an optical device. It is a field of view checker. And I think the math works on it. It works when I compared it to some of the field of view selections that I've done. But we're going to check the field of view. This one that I'm going to pull up here has some of the best field of view, 120 degrees. And at my church, we have a men's group. We had COVID coming. You know, we didn't luckily have any COVID outbreaks, but we actually had people that needed to join our men's group prayer group. And they said, hey, what can we do to set up a webcam? Well, if I picked one of these other ones that's got, you know, maybe a 60-degree field of view, you've got one person. With this thing, best wide angle webcam. A couple quick things about it. The cord is short. It's a USB-A cord here. As I start to plug this in, I'll tell you about it. The way I measure cords, I'm about 6 feet in a wingspan. This is not all the way out, so it's about 5 feet here. Yeah, Lundy, that field of view tester got me too, because I was like, maybe I'll just put them along in a straight line. You can't do that. It's got to be a rounded circle, by the way, I found out, because that's the way field of view works. And so hopefully somebody can tell me if that thing that I made is going to be awesome and if I should patent it, or if they want to tell me a better one. I did do some research earlier today, and it appears that it's mathematically correct. So I'm just screwing this one onto our base here. It went a lot better in practice, let's say. So I'm going to put this in. A couple things about these bases that I want to talk about. So most of these are designed to go on your monitor, right? One of the things that's a huge pet peeve of mine is tilt. I've got a lot of monitors on monitor stands. You've probably seen them on monitor stand shows. I hate it when a webcam is off like this. And my monitor might be straight. It just might be the angle, the way the back plate's working. So I love a webcam that's got a little bit of adjustability. Now this thing can swivel, so I'm swiveling it side to side now, which is pretty cool. So it has that. It does have a mount to go on the back. It doesn't have tilt this way, so no tilt. But I did want to point something out about this Tenvis webcam, which is really cool. In the box, and I'll pull up the pricing here shortly. I didn't even take it out because I buy so many of these that I literally have extras. It's got a little clip on it, but this is the world's smallest tripod that it comes with, but it's great. You know, again, you have a big monitor, you want to put the camera off to the side, maybe put it next to your computer on a shelf. So it's got that. But I gave one of these to my men's prayer group, and it's awesome. The 120-degree field of view. And I'm going to pull that up, and I'm going to see if I can get it at least started here. I've got to plug it in the side with the USB 2.0. Okay, everything's switching over in my Zoom. I'm actually using Zoom, and I'm not using any adjustments. I'm not doing any lighting adjustments. I'm not doing any, well, it would be nice if I could touch up my appearance, right? I'm not doing any of that because I don't want to cheat here. Now, I'm going to switch over to it, and you're going to have to follow me for a sec, okay? That's what it looks like out of the box. And I said that this is, you know, one of the best wide-angle webcams, but really I'm blown out. If I turn the lights off here, it's going to readjust, but still my skin tone looks like something you'd see in a Mars landing movie. You know, it's not great out of the box. And my studio is challenging. I've got lots of different lights, lots of different light temperatures. But I want to show you something. This is the webcam software called Camus. It allows you to adjust webcams that don't have software for them. I'm going to do a couple settings here, and I'm going to take this budget webcam and we're going to bring it back to something that's realistic. So I know my lighting temperature is supposed to be 5200. That's what 5200 Kelvin, that's what my things are. So I can bring it up just a tick and try to get that green out of there, maybe right there. I can also adjust the exposure because being a bald-headed guy, I tend to reflect a lot. So I'll go ahead and do the exposure adjustment. Okay, now that's already better. That's better. Now when I change this, gain, if you guys are into photography, gain is like your ISO and exposure is like your shutter speed. So that's already getting better. I might even tune a little bit into here. I could bring some brightness back in. Gamma is an adjustment that's a curve. Now I'm going to try to bring this maybe into the middle here and I can zoom in for you guys. See if I can zoom in just a little bit there. Okay. So these are the settings that you can adjust. So we can take the gamma up and down, and that's going to raise all the colors, but keep the contrast and brightness. So already, you guys, this webcam for the price is going to get almost as sharp, almost I'm saying as sharp as some of these other ones. One of the tests that I like to use is my beard. I got all these gray hairs from the kids, and this webcam, let's go look at the price because I want to show you and kind of shock you a little bit of what you can get and what the value is on this Tenvis webcam. I'm going to pull it up on the carousel as well. Get that up for you. And let's see if I have that. Okay, so it's called a 1080p business webcam. See if I can find that. 1080p business webcam from Tenvis. It's 50% off right now with a coupon. So if you check this little box, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. If you check this little box right now, you get this for 50% off. So you're paying $19.98, $19.99 if you round up, and you're getting one of the best looking webcams with a super wide field of view. Now, some people don't like that super wide field of view. I'm going to come back to the zoom here. I don't want to throw you guys around too much with me swapping windows and stuff. Sometimes this wide angle is not good. I'm going to turn it a little bit for you guys so you can see. If I'm just looking kind of straight at me, I'm seeing all the way to my door. Now, when I get over to the edge, and I got to bring the software down, I got the colors finally right, my head starts to turn weird. It's got this barrel distortion, I guess. So what camera do you recommend for hooking up to an HP or Dell laptop? Oh man, any of these would be good. I'm gonna come up to about 3 away is gonna be the best value, and I'll tell you about it. But yeah, Tenvis webcam. I reviewed this on my channel. Once you get over this field of view, now I really wish Camus would let me zoom in. If I could cut the zoom here, maybe it's a software update thing. If I could just change the field of view, and let's test that field of view. We're gonna pull my field of view checker out. Jordy would be happy. Pinky, you make me laugh, man. That's awesome. Okay, and I'm shaking like a leaf here, and I do need to bring my Camus back up. Sorry, guys. Camus. Okay, and I'm going to have to bring the exposure clearly down because it's a little bit too bright, but let's go check this guy. Okay, not exactly 120. See, when I put this to 0, I got 90, the edge of 90 on both sides, right? So that's not 180. It's a little over 90 when it's in this configuration. So it's not bad. I've seen it up as much as 100, depending on if there's any sort of clipping or anything going on in the app. So again, very, very decent value on a webcam right out of the box. Again, decent picture quality too. I'm just messing with the settings, and I would spend some time on this. You know, I got a little bit of a flicker with my LEDs, so I would go up like that. Again, solid showing. That's the Tenvis webcam. I'm going to go to the presentation here. A couple of things. Again, no software with it. You don't have a privacy shutter with it. Now, some people need that privacy shutter. I like having a privacy shutter when I'm in between meetings. You don't want to get tubined, I think is the verb now of it. But having that privacy shutter is the way to go. It does have an indicator light. It has both red that tells you it's power that's plugged in, and it's got a green saying you're on air or not. And it doesn't look like in the software that you can turn that off. Computer Pal Inc. What main camera am I using? I'm using a Canon 90D SLR running 4K right now on that one, and it's good. And I got a Sigma 18 to 35 lens. That's another option if you are a professional presenter to use a DSLR. My second camera over here. Hey, awesome! Thanks for the follow, man. That's really cool, Computer Pal. My second camera over here is actually a GoPro 7, a GoPro 7 Black, and that's one of the best for streamers if you guys want a decent quality camera, good skin tone. I can't really adjust it too much, and a little underexposed, but you know, that's what it is. That's the gear I'm using. We're going to move on to the next camera, and I want to show you guys that one. Again, that was the Tenvis webcam, and that's the one I pulled up here. The next one on the list is one that I actually pulled in on the recommendation of Hardware Canucks. Now, they had a really good experience with this camera. I'm not one to say that my experience should or could have been any different. I'm going to start pulling it up as I talk here. This is the NexiGo. There we go. It's changing all my inputs around as we do this. I'm sharing my whole desktop to you here. I'm going to put this off to the side. If you guys have a question about one of these, let me know and I'll pull it back up. I'm going to wrap the cords up nicely just so they don't get all tangled. The NexiGo's one that Hardware Canucks, I think it was like second place in their review, and it turned out that it had a really good picture, a couple little fallbacks that we'll talk about here. So I'm going to set this over here behind me, and we're going to go with the NexiGo. There are some things that I really do like about it, so let's take a look physically at it real quick. So a couple things on it. Integrated privacy shutter built in. Can't beat that. So you're going to know that thing's closed because you don't see glass, and there's the glass. Now, Computer Pal asked a really good question about what kind of lenses and stuff. I mean, I got a lens just laying over here. This is why a DSLR usually beats a webcam. That's the front element on a Sigma 30mm. That's the whole camera on this NexiGo N60. So you're dealing with something that, it has that much light intake capacity versus something that's got the size of maybe an eraser head. So these things are already kind of behind when they're having to work in low light and other conditions. The cord on this just happens to be the shortest one out of everything I'm testing. Again, arm length test. It barely gets to my other elbow from the tips here. This should be 6 feet. So short cable, that won't matter if you have a laptop. So that's another thing to think about. It does have the 1/4 base. It has another feature that I love. I'm going to bring this back over, guys. It's got tilt. So you can put it on your monitor, and if your monitor, for whatever reason, is not exactly perfect, you can tilt it left or right, swivel, up, down. One of the most adjustable, I'll give it that we're talking about. I'm going to mount this on here. There is software for it, but the software is really, really basic. You have to download it. There's nothing in the box. It's got one of the smallest boxes when you get it. I'm mounting them all into the same stand, and there's a reason for that. I want to give them all a fair shake here. I want them all to have the same angle, and then hopefully we can see how they all perform. And I figure I might have to reboot this. This is a Windows computer, and I'm swapping USB devices like mad on it. So there we go. So now we've got the NexiGo in. It does have one light on it right now that is saying that it is on. I'm going to go over back to my Zoom call that we had going, and I'm going to switch my camera, and there you go. So right out of the bat, not bad. You know, again, that's part of what they liked about it, is the sharpness and clarity. Again, back to that beard, really decent. Now, frame rates, let's go take a look and see what we see on the Amazon page for it. We're looking for the NexiGo. I'm just going to pull it up directly. NexiGo N60. It's a really popular model right here. It's available overnight to me, and it's $39 and save an extra 10% right now. So this is about a $36 webcam budget-wise is what that would come out to. Lots of features. Now, again, the software, they're kind of touting it here, but it looks very, very basic, right? There's a few controls. I'm going to go back into the camera so you can see it. I'm going to open the NexiGo control panel, and we're going to tune this thing for the best that we can. So now, actually, it looks like I did tune this, and that's probably why the picture started pretty decent. Let me show you what the defaults are. Again, being bald and having a bunch of different lighting, that's the key. Again, let's try one of these lights and see if that helps it. So this is the newer light kit, so I can add a little bit more light on the side of my face. You can see in the lower picture, it's, you know, lighting my background more than anything. And you can adjust the brightness of it. Still, even with a ton of light, the color's wrong. You can see just right away there's some problems with the color. So let's change the white balance. We're going to go up. Brightness is way too hot there. Saturation, I'm looking like Smurf. Okay, we're getting better. Now, exposure. This is the one that, if you have a manual exposure control, this can be super valuable. One of the things I noticed on this one, though, is when I get it into manual mode, I almost have to crank this all the way up here. And, you know, it's just the gamma. I have to bring that up. I've lost a bunch of sharpness here. So it doesn't have focus. This is a fixed focus camera. That's another thing. Some of these more budget webcams will have fixed focus. So, and there's a little bit of ghosting. I was getting that yesterday too, as I start to do it in manual. Now, if I turn it to auto, it's too bright, and I can bring the gain down, maybe. Not let me do that. Let me bring the gamma down. Okay, so not really ghosting as bad as it was. But again, I kind of look bright red here. I can't change the hue. I can futz with the white balance a little bit. That's a little bit better. So again, a decent showing from the NexiGo N60. I touted this one as a solid performer. I'm not going to say it's amazing, because it may not be. I do like the privacy. I had 5 stars. It looks like it's wrapping now. Maybe I can do a control minus. No, it doesn't do that. Under $40 we saw. This thing's about $36 with the discount that you get today. Solid performer. This would be a decent grab-and-go webcam, especially if you have a lot of really good lighting. This one would do really well. So looking for questions in the chat. More than just YouTube. Awesome. Proceeded to think I was talking to nobody. I love it. Yes, I am on Amazon Live right now. We are doing a live stream, a live webcam showcase. And if you have chat questions, go ahead and put them in there. And is that stand in your carousel? Now, the one I'm using here is not yet, and I will put it in later in my stuff. And I might even be able to pull it up and look up the name for it. But that is a more heavy-duty stand, and it's good for some bigger light kits. Actually, I'll show you a trick here. Since I got a webcam, I can turn it around. That's one of my lights that's mounted here. That's you guys over there, and that light that's up there on the left is actually mounted using the same exact stand. So I have one on each side of my computer. So Computer Pal, that is the stand that is being used here, is the same one, and it can hold a whole lot of weight. So much better. The other two stands that I showed you that are in the carousel are more for webcams and not heavy lighting equipment. So good question, great answer there. And so the NexiGo N60, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's good if it's tuned. Out of the box, definitely needs some help. The next one we're going to go to, the best low budget webcam is what I'm going to call this. There's some really good and bad about it. Now, this one was provided free of charge to me for a fair and honest review, which is what I plan to give it. I like it. You know, there are some things. I use this thing exclusively probably for 3 months. That maybe tells you how long I've had it. They've been very patient waiting for a review. So, you know, I want to thank them, obviously, for trusting that product with me. This Jiga, I'm going to use that as what its name should be pronounced as, the Jiga webcam, is a very, very good low value. It has one amazing feature. And, you know, for the price range that you're going to see this thing come up in, you rarely ever see this feature. And I'm going to bring it over to the second camera. There is the webcam. There is the feature. It's got a built-in ring light, and it's not that dim of a ring light. You can see it's actually helping light my face even for the GoPro, which is traditionally underexposed, right? So yeah, it's looking good there. It fits just like so on top of a laptop, but you know, sometimes this is a kind of a cool blue, like a LED headlight. Sometimes you want it to be warm light. You got kids talking to grandma. That's really cool. Maybe you don't want it so bright, so you hold on to it and it dims down the light. Bicolor dimmable LED ring light. You'd pay this amount that this is going to cost. Again, some rules on Amazon about pricing. I have to give you the exact price when what we're showing today. You'd pay that for a ring light, what it's going to cost. I'm going to show you here. And it's going to be a webcam. Now, a couple things. It doesn't have a privacy shutter. You're going to need a piece of tape or something if you're worried about that. It does have a little light. Now, I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to turn on the video for it. So it does have a little light that says what it's doing. So it's got a green light that knows that it's on. What's interesting, and I've used this thing actually, even without being on a web, a live stream, or Zoom meeting. I've used this thing just as a keyboard light. You know, I'd be working down here. It's late. I can have this thing hooked up, just turned on, point it down at my keys just like that. And again, that's the bicolor LED. One of the best low budget lights here, and you're going to see in the picture, I think I may have already tuned this up because it's looking really, really good already here. You're going to see in the picture when I hit the button how good it looks. You know, for what it is, it's getting a little bit of, I have an overhead light here, so it's getting a little bit of reflection off of that. One of the sharpest cameras. Look at the sign, the net guy back there. It's almost super sharp. The beard's looking natural. I would say even almost better than what we're going to see up here in the Brio. It also is fully functional with the Camus software. Now, Camus, you're going to have to close it and reopen it when you change your hardware configurations like that. It comes up as a USB webcam. So this is the Jiga webcam that we're looking at. And I can tweak it a little bit. I'm a little bit more red, so I'm going to turn the saturation down. Maybe play with the white balance because I've got that extra little light there. But man, right there is a gorgeous looking camera. Let me know what you guys think on that. Do you agree with me? Is this one of the best looking cameras that we've had? Because for the price, and let's jump over and talk to that. I'm going to pull it up on the carousel because my app closed and I want you to see this one. Computer Pal following on YouTube. You rock, my friend. Then we're going to do the Jiga webcam. It's also linked. If you guys are ever interested in where these things are, you want to know which one it is, get the right one exactly, go ahead and go to my Amazon shop page. We talked about that. That's /shop/thenetguy on Amazon. Decent reviews. It's got a limited time deal. And I actually talked to these guys. I don't know if this limited time deal is from this event, but I sent them the link to it. I said, hey, I'm going to be online. I'm going to be talking about it, and you guys are going to be the best low budget webcam. they might have done this for you, but right now it's at $30.56. Fantastic. I would say above the NexiGo. And if you didn't need the wide angle of the Tenvis webcam, this would be a great option. I have a friend that owns a business, and you'd be surprised. Business owners are not as well-to-do as you think, but he's a smart investor, and he's bought very, very high-quality computer stuff from me in the past. And he asked me, he says, my wife needs a webcam. What's the best one I should buy? And I said, well, how much is she going to use it? Again, you can see my DSLR is in this lower corner, and it's got the advantage of being compressed, but color, my skin tone, now it's auto-exposing there, but look how fast that's reacting. Really, really cool. Let's give it the old test, the eye test here. So this thing will go to the base, and hopefully won't change the color. So it's going to have between a 60, I got to angle that 0 in the right spot. This is super scientific, as you can see. So the edge of the thing would be the whole number. So about a 68, 70 degree field of view, which is perfect for a single person. You can see the sharpness. I've got these cool Wise strip lights and Strip Lights Pro that just showed up. Thank you, Wise. To do a future stream potentially on, and you can read the labels off the stuff behind me. And we're only on a 720p stream right now. I'll take my other camera off here. We're only on a 720p stream. Thank you, Amazon. And, it looks great. So back to the presentation side. This is the best low-budget webcam. I'm calling it 4 stars. I'm going to get these stars figured out next time. I'm calling it 4 stars. Price under $40. 5 stars on that. Has an indicator light, the bi-color dimmable. If you don't want to buy another LED light like I've got over here, this is the best one that I've seen. Best under $40, best low-budget webcam, hands down. Now, could the cord be more than 5 feet? Yes, but you can buy a USB extension for just about nothing. Picture quality, I'm going to say tuned is very good. Let's go back to that one more time. I just want to show you. I might be able to get a little bit more gamma in here if I can tweak the gamma. Again, you'll spend forever getting this just right. And what's cool about this, see, look, just a little tiny bit made it look that much better. You can save with Camus. You can actually save out the settings, and you can reload those. So you'll have them ready to go. But it'll set the defaults. Fantastic showing here. Again, under $40. This is going to rival some of the best webcams that we're going to show you today. And, what's the exact price on here? Got to be very careful about that. $30.56 on a lightning deal right now. And they're great guys to work with. They were super patient about this review. I want to do a full review just showing you how amazing this one is. I said I'm going to bring it into the live stream showcase for you guys. And, everybody's going to like it, I can tell. Hey, Joseph, thank you for chatting with me on YouTube there. It is definitely a great deal. And I would say, if you guys are new here, I'm John, the Net Guy. I do PC build, tech tips, and gear reviews for everybody, regardless of your skill level. And I also do live streams and product showcases and whatever else I can get myself into. I want to invite you to join me on Amazon. There's the link in the video description as well. Just a quick reminder, it cuts out the middleman. I don't have to rely on you clicking on an affiliate link, and hopefully the web browser gets it and all that and whatnot. If you buy from my live stream, if you buy from the carousel, a small percentage of that goes to me in full transparency, and that's awesome. I can send my wife to dinner while I do these live streams. So really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for the follow there as well. Follow, I think, is up there on desktop, down there in mobile. Okay, let's go to the next one because we're going to go through a lot of these today. And that is the best low-budget webcam real quick here. The next one, best overall value. So now, if you have a little bit more to spend, it is a little bit more expensive. If you want the integrated privacy shutter, the picture is very good, I would say, and the software suite is excellent on this one. The next one's your bag. This is the Avermedia. Now, full transparency. Hey, Amazon customer, thanks for following. And RJ, yes, it does look nice. I want to point out real quick here. One thing I don't like. Privacy shutter almost felt like an afterthought. It literally will click on you, and if your monitor gets jiggled, your privacy shutter half closes and half your screen is black. I thought my webcam died, and it was like, oh no, my webcam, like half of it's gone. Oh no, it was the privacy shutter halfway closed. And I can make music with that. Okay, so I'm going to get this thing started. While I do that, I'm going to bring up the page for this. This is the Avermedia. Now, I bought this one at a different store, Costco, and we're going to go see the Amazon version of it. Where's Avermedia? This is the Live Streamer 313. They got a bunch of different versions of this. It's kind of interesting. And actually, I shouldn't cover up the versions when I say that. So there are 4 different variants here. They have a 4K UHD live stream. Hey, by the way, Avermedia, I do gear reviews. If you want to send me that, I would be happy to include it in a follow-up because I think that's their Brio competitor. And Epos Vox, if you follow him on YouTube, does a lot of reviews, and he really likes the Avermedia stuff. They make a lot of really good stuff. I think that their software is the difference here. If you don't want to have to go find your own third-party piece of software to adjust your camera settings, these guys are awesome. Hey, Gerardo Reyes, it does not have a microphone or not. The Jiga webcam does have a microphone. Almost all of these have a microphone. We do need to double check, if it's a single, a dual, all that. I don't use the microphones on a webcam. And part of the reason is the capsule on the microphone on a webcam, and actually, I can't tell on this one. If I look at the Avermedia, I'll bring this over for you. The best bet, like this one has one of the best. You can see that darker hole on the side. That's where it's microphone, and that's about half an eraser head maybe. Got one on the other side here too. This has got a dual microphone in it. Normal webcams, the size of hole for your sound to go in is so small. The capsules are so awful that they generally don't have a good sound to them. And you're going to get room noise and you're going to get echoes because you're coming in of one device and out a different device. If you weren't here before, earlier in the show, welcome, everybody. Oh, sorry. This is what I highlighted before. This is the Plantronics C3210. Absolute favorite for audio. So, Gerardo, if you want to sound your best, sound your most professional, the Plantronics black wire, ironically named because it's got a bright red wire. They've got a single and a dual ear version. This is your bag. It's going to have your audio is going to be in here, so you're not going to echo ever. And your microphone, which is adjustable and it can rotate to both sides, that's going to pick up a lot better, especially if you have a kind of a bassy voice like me. Maybe I have a bassy voice. It's going to sound great. It's going to sound way better than something that's 3 or 4 feet from you, 2 feet from you. So that's what I would highly recommend. Again, if you're looking for sound, I know we kind of jumped off on a tangent here, but they do have it. Avermedia does have good microphones. There are 4 different variants here of this. There is the 4K, the autofocus version, which is newer. The one I'm going to show you today, which again is very budget, is $41.87, and then the wide angle. And so wide angle probably does have a bigger field of view. Again, this is the one I'm showing you today, is the Avermedia. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down. And the key on this one is the software. They've really, really outdone themselves with the software. It's stable. The only quirk, and we're going to see if it happens when I plug this thing in with its software, and the mount is great. It's one of the few mounts here today we're going to see that has a tilt function capability. I have to find a new stool here. Sal, thanks for the follow. Awesome. Welcome, you guys. Thought about doing a giveaway of something. Maybe the NexiGo, if you guys can make it work better for me. I'm thinking I'm sending it to a new follower, so stay tuned. I'm going to see if I can pull something like that off. But let's go over here to Zoom, and let's make sure we got the right one. So I'm already on the live streamer cam. That's what happens. This is what happens with the cam engine software. Let me get out of your face there. It's dark. Now, that's not the privacy screen. That's the privacy screen on, off, on, off, on, off. Sorry if I'm flashing you guys there. Here's what we got to do. We got to go to Cam Engine. The Avermedia Cam Engine. I just launched the software, and bam, I'm way better already. And let's go into that software, and we'll talk about what it can do. So this is the software. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I know the resolution's really low on Amazon. I want to show you some of the features it has. It has brightness, contrast. I can tune the brightness to say, hey, get my face just right. I can go in here and say, I'm too saturated because there's too much color, so I can bring that down to basically black and white or higher. I can say, I got a little bit of a hue problem. Actually, that fixed it a little bit. But if you go to the advanced, they give you full control. You get the full control over the gamma here, which can be really valuable. That's the same essentially as brightness contrast. I'm going to zoom back out so you can kind of see, again, we're tuning the picture up here. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm trying to make it look good. I need more brightness, but then I blow out. So this is where you can bring the contrast down and just right. So you can play with the settings, but really decent picture. You know, between it and the Jiga, really, really close. If you increase the sharpness, that beard starts showing individual hairs, which is really cool. Again, the sign, great. We've got a little bit of noise coming in here so you guys can see how it's working now. Let me know what you think. This is the Avermedia 313. This is the live streamer stuff. Now we get to go have the fun. Yeah, so that's all of it here. There is one tab which is supposedly supposed to be here, but I cannot see where it's at. So that's the tuned profile. That's the user experience. There's one tab which had advanced settings, and it actually lets me, I might have to turn it off. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to come back to the main. I'm going to do one piece of debugging when I open Cam Engine and see if this is going to fix it. It's really funny. Yep, there it was. I just did not have the thing set up right. Okay, I'm going to bring you guys all back in here, and we're going to have fun with it because this camera is an absolute hoot. If it's going to let me do it. I'm going to try that one more time. There is a order that you have to start these things up in. Again, I started it. It's got this little error in the corner. It says it can't access the camera. That's because I had Cam Engine open, and usually in Windows, one app can get the camera. So it's not letting me get to the menu. That's what the problem was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off, or I'm going to switch this just so you guys can laugh. I'm going to switch this back to that potato of a webcam. This is a over $1,000 i7 10th gen PC laptop, and it looks like a 360 degree webcam, or 360 p webcam. So let's do Avermedia Cam Engine. Okay, so it's down there. I can bring up the profile for tuned. We can go through and tune it and make it better. You know, it definitely needs the gamma brought up. And I'm totally saturating this machine right now. But one of the things that it has is it has these filters. So it can do skin smoothing, and these are just like awful. I'm going to restore the defaults. And then I'm going to bring the brightness up. And the exposure, that's the one that's getting me. This was a funny one. So the gain and the exposure are linked, right? This is like your shutter speed and ISO in a regular photography. But it doesn't change until you change the other. That's what I've noticed. Okay, so I'm getting a better picture. If I go to filters, I can smooth my skin, and then this is the view. I'm going to get this one full screen. So again, pretty decent here. I'm maybe a little bit white and washed out. I'm going to turn the zoom one off, give my computer back some resources. Okay, and let's see if we can bring, oh no, not that. I want to bring that window up. There we go. Okay, effects. This is where the fun stuff gets in. This is the one that will just kill my kids when they see it. They're going to love it. Let's put some effects on. Who does not need cat ears and stuff? And I think that this actually happened. I don't know if you heard the story about it was like a prosecutor or a witness that was live, you know, doing a telecourt, and their kid had like this. And if I turn my head, it angles, it's trying to catch up. It follows my face with this cat thing. I think the beard one's a little bit excessive. You know, that beard's a little too long that it's putting on me. But I always thought this was a funny one. So this is the Avermedia, the live cam 313. So live streamer cam. It's not a bad camera. Again, decent quality. Again, you bring it back into zoom, you're going to have to do some tuning on it. You know, out of the box, unless you launch Cam Engine to adjust it, it's a little low, and then you got to come in here and we can adjust those settings and get it just right. So solid. What I'm calling this one, as we said, is probably the best overall value camera that you can get. So, you know, it's from the pricing perspective that we just showed, from the built-in privacy filter that it has, which is on just a couple of these. The effects that it can do is really cool. It has a full 6-foot cord, and it is at 1080p 30 frames per second webcam. So really, really solid. That's the Avermedia. I'm going to go to the next one here because we're starting to get down in the list. We've only got 3 left here, and then we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys that have been following, by the way. If you're just joining now, I am John, the Net Guy. I do PC build, tech tips, and gear reviews, and live product showcases here on Amazon, YouTube, and several other places. If you're watching on any of those other places, wouldn't hurt if you guys could come to the Amazon link that's in the description. Helps me out. Give me a follow here. We're going to come up with some way to thank you guys for doing that, and it helps me bring better prices and cool stuff to you. So the next one that's coming up here is one that I was really interested in. I harassed these guys a little bit on social media. I was like, hey, you guys are touting that you have this coolest new webcam coming out in the middle of COVID. And this was a few months ago, and I had to pay real money for this camera. So I paid directly for it. There's no, no kickbacks here. There was no, we'll send you a free one, which occasionally you get free hardware, but you spend 12 hours making a video. So a lot of times you're getting $10 an hour on this one. We are going to go to the PowerConf. So this is the Anker PowerConf C300. This is different. Okay, so this has changed in the last. Now you can see I purchased it personally back in April, and I could view the order and show you that, but it's got some personal information on it. I don't want to give that. Save an extra $30 when you apply this coupon. So that changes the game a little bit. So now when you apply that coupon, you save $30. It's a $99 webcam. So I'm going to show you the performance of it, because I think that will be important. From the vital statistics on this, we're starting to get into the 1080p 60 webcams. So these are the webcams that have a faster frame rate or faster maximum frame rate, which lets them do some things. This one, its claim to fame, it has adjustable field of view. It has an auto face following. So you're spending $99 on a webcam. It's going to give you a little bit more features. Now let's go back here over to screen 2. That is the Anker PowerConf C300. You can see it kind of reflective. It has definitely some speaker holes here and there. It's got a base with a 1/4 threaded mount. It's got a kind of a removable cord. You don't think about it, but if you're trying to go somewhere, it's got a removable USB-C. You could actually, if you had a double-ended USB-C like a charger, you could leave this thing at home. This is also a double-ended USB-C. What they've done is they've given you this little tiny USB-C to USB 2, it looks like, adapter. So, don't know if this is going to be USB 3 or 2. I'd have to do a lot of stuff to actually tell. A lot of these guys will claim that they're higher than they really are. I'm actually going to bring you over here so you can read the stats while I'm hooking this thing up. So a couple things about it. Picture quality is good. For a $130 webcam, good to me when you have other options was not as useful. That said, at $99, it kind of changes my view. I'm calling this one up-and-coming player because they've done 5 firmware updates since I've had this. They're doing a lot of changes to it. The software on it's getting better. It does have manual controls, so that's going to be something you're going to see here. So I'm going to go back over to the Zoom call we've had going on. Should have recorded this Zoom call. Wouldn't that have been fun? I didn't want to change any of the settings here accidentally. I'm going to get my mug out of here. And we'll start this up. Okay, so pretty decently wide field of view. You're seeing my Amazon chat scroller here. And you're seeing this is the Anker PowerConf C300. Are you reading stuff off the back as clear as the other one? Probably not. Again, that field of view is wider. Let's pull out the field of view tester. If you guys hadn't seen earlier, I built this little test unit, and it's a neat test. Oh, you know what it just did? Did you guys see it just move? I have these 2 NetGuy logos here, and if I cover them up because they're faces, I have this thing still set on face follow mode, and I guess apparently not face follow mode. Is it going to come in? Is it going to come in there? No, it's confused again. Well, it just moved, so I got to show you the software because that's where we're going to do it. It's an Anker Work is the name of the software. We'll pull that up. And if you guys have questions as we're going, spit them out in the chat. Let me know on the Amazon Live. If you got questions about any products here, I'm going to pull this one up in the carousel just so you guys can see it. We did, and I'm going to put it on the carousel here. We had the Avermedia live streamer just before. See, this is what happens. I told you they've got so many versions that are coming out. I'm going to say, remind me later, I can't install updates during the middle of a live stream and then give you guys a fair and honest review. But if you have questions, put them in the Amazon chat. If you're not watching me on Amazon, you can jump over there. The link's in the description to do that. Okay, so this is the Anker Work software. We can go to the device. We're not at 360p, that's for sure. But we can go through and we can change some of the settings. And this is what I ran into with it before. I have to stop it. I'm going to go change to my integrated. I'm going to go reopen Anker work, and we're going to take a look at that real quick. Okay, remind me later. So it's starting to recover. It's decent. Again, it's maybe a little light, and my beard's brown. It's something maybe like that. I don't know. I have to ask my wife. It's decently sharp. Let's go to the image settings. So we can do some stuff here, manual settings, except you don't have the gain control over the ISO. So you can turn off some of the settings. You can adjust them. We can go to 60 FPS. So again, I'm not sending in 60 FPS, but it should make everything a little bit smoother. If you don't want to see me slouching, you can go here and change the field of view. Okay, so that's the lower field of view now. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my field of view checker. Now I want you guys to see this because this thing, like a kid's science project or Roman Coliseum. Let's check it. So we put it up there. What did we say it was? It was a 78-degree field of view. It's showing just slightly under that. And again, that may just be its thing. Again, when you change all these settings, it seems to go a little bit different. Let's go out to 90. Ooh, if I get 0 dead in the middle, it's at least 82. So 82, not bad. 115. So this is starting to get as wide of a field of view as we talked about the other one. Hey, South, right on. You like that? How do you have your video like the desktop of your computer? Great question, man. If you want to hit me up with some of these, I love helping streamers out and people. I'm using an ATEM Mini Pro over here. It's a switcher. I can hit this button and I can switch you guys over. I can go to camera 2 and you guys can check out this really cool thing. Camera 3 is a dead slot, but it's usually my overhead cam, but my daughter's borrowing it. She's got a new photography class, so she took my DSLR that was up there. But yeah, so that's how I do the switching, and it does have picture in a picture, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah, just to answer your question there. Awesome. Okay, so really, really wide field of view. So if you want something that maybe will show a conference room, you put this down on the end of a conference room. It's showing like last week's live that I did there. It's showing maybe more than I want, but you have full control over that. Now you can do auto framing and it'll do whatever it needs to. This is the fun one, is the solo frame. Now I had to cover these up before because I think it was getting tricked by those faces. Really natural. Now what's cool is if I move, it's moving. Okay, maybe it's not moving as fast as it should. Okay, I'm going back. It's following me. Pretty slick, huh? I've seen this in early not coming in Logitech. Logitech had some follow stuff in the 920s and some of the other ones, the 600 series, I think. That was kind of cool. If you're a solo tuber like myself and you want it to follow, it's a little bit jerky. You could definitely do it. The picture is good, except in certain lighting circumstances. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn my overhead off. Now I'm starting to get that weird kind of glowy look, even though I've got lights in here. It's not completely dark. Now, if I come back here, my camera's a fixed, it's on fixed aperture and everything, so it's not going to adjust out. The secondary cam, it's holding up. Again, that's not completely fair. Again, if I just want to use this little newer camera, already getting better. That's just more natural. I can bring the lighting up, and the exposure is getting adjusted as we go. So, yeah, pretty cool product here. I like it on special right now. Let's go see what that costs right now. So again, I purchased it full tilt boogie, and I paid more money than what it's on right now. It's listed for $129.99. It's from the Anker PowerConf series. Now, what's interesting about this series? Is that they actually have a USB puck for speakerphone, which is really cool. It's more than I have. Again, Anker, love your products. I got your Soundcore stuff over here I'm going to be showing in the future. If you want somebody to take a look at this conferencing solution, this Anker Work series that they're putting together is pretty cool. Be happy to take a look at it. And I think, again, what I'm putting on here is up and coming. You saw that they actually had an update already, and that was from last night at midnight when I was just wrapping up to today. They've already been updating the software. So it's constantly getting updated. I'd say the picture quality could be very good. So it's between that good and very good. I wasn't able to get as much stuff out of it before. I do like that you can put the add-on privacy filter. I didn't put it on, but it's a stick-on one that you can do that. The special feature that it has is that face follow framing capability, which is really cool. I put it in the under 150 class. It's in the under 100 class today on special, so it's not a bad deal. Again, tons of really cool options when it comes to webcams, and Anker's coming into that market. Their Soundcore stuff is solid. Like there's Soundcore headphones, earbuds. I bought some of those for my kids, the Q20s. So, they've got a lot of really good products. I was really excited to see them. There's some unique stuff about this, right? Removable cable. If you're, excuse me, somebody that travels, a removable cable is something you don't usually see in the lower quality ones, lower cost. But this one has that removable cable. I'm going to put this over away, and we're going to go to second to the headliner. We have something I kind of should have teased this a little bit earlier. Just ordered the Anker Cam. Okay, well, you didn't do a bad thing there. That has a lot of capabilities. One of the other beautiful things about Amazon is that you can return it. If you're not happy with it, return it. That if you buy something from a shop sight unseen, you're using my demonstration, and return it. Doesn't hurt me at all. And you got free returns here on Prime as well. The next one up, it's the Brio 4K. Now, is it a Brio, or is it the Logitech 4K, or is it the ultimate UHD, whatever they're calling it? They keep changing the name on this thing. I can't keep it straight. It is going to be the best picture quality. Now, it doesn't have the follow capability like the Anker. It does have some really cool apps for streaming. You can do what we were talking about earlier, Computer Pal, the picture-in-a-picture capability. You can do that in software with this. You don't need an ATEM. You can do two sources. You have to have one of them be the Logitech, though. I got fingerprints all over this thing. So here, let me show you what it looks like up close. We'll get you guys familiarized with it. It has a massive 7-foot cord. So it is the duplicated. A lot of these I showed earlier look just like it. Everybody's trying to be the Logitech Brio. It's a 4K resolution. So why do you need 4K? Because Zoom's not sending in 4K. It downsamples. So you're taking 4K, it's downsampling it to 1080. It looks super duper duper sharp, which is really cool. Hey, RJ is going off to a Zoom meeting. Love that. Thank you for joining as long as you could. Removable USB Type-C cord here. Now, I can't tell if maybe there's one and USB on the other side and I just didn't see it. I'm using the USB 3.0 because, again, this is a 4K camera. It's going to have a lot of frame rate to go through here. But this is the thing that's kind of like, this is when I started the video with here. No quarter 20. I didn't see a quarter 20 threaded hole. Maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe I'm dense. But I can't mount this. I can only mount it to monitors. So what I'm talking about with a quarter 20, let's look at that. Awesome, Sal. Thanks for joining and saying as long as you could. I'll catch you later, and you're going to get noticed because you're a new follower. So you're going to notice. That's the base on there. So all of those cool mounts I was showing you, they're compatible with the other webcams, like the Jiga webcam here, which is a great value webcam. There's no threaded mount that I could see. Again, I don't want to steer you wrong, so I'm just saying based on what I've seen, and I'll put some updates if something changes. But let's go in here. And I'm going to plug this guy in. We have one left after this. Okay, just getting all set up here for you guys. Okay, it's plugged in. It's precarious because I don't have a mount for it, and I have not been able to preview and see what it looks like. It does come with software, and that's both good and bad. So this is Logitech. Logitech has been a big-time player in the space. I'm just getting it framed here, right? So let's go back over here. Now you can see I am on the Logitech. I am full screen on the Logitech. Now it's focusing. You can see it racking focus. It's looking. You can read the Wise Light Strip, Wise Light Strip Pro. So you're reading my background. It has a little bit of trouble with the light that some of the other ones didn't have. And that could just be, if I got some smearing or something on the lens there. Let me double check one thing. Yeah, I already did remove, excuse me. We'll clean that up. I already did remove the plastic. I just didn't remove it around the outside edge. If I ever give one of these away as a gift or something, I don't want it to have, marks and stuff on it. So I leave the plastic on as long as I possibly can. Okay, there are 3 different software packages for the Logitech Brio 4K. There is Logitune, which runs in your sys tray. It looks like this, and it can go through and adjust your settings like, hey, zoom, whoa, look at that. So you can zoom right into the beard and see all of the gray hairs. And, you know, like I said about downsampling, that's really sharp. You can see it adjust, you know, its focus and everything. Field of view, it's saying is 90. So when you see some of these other ones, and they're saying they've got like a 5 million degree field of view. Let me pull up the on the carousel. Sorry about that. I'm bad about keeping that carousel updated. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to pull up the Brio here, and let's pull up the eye chart, the silly eye chart that I made. You know what? 90 was what we said. So if 0's in the middle, I got at least 85.5 on my homemade eye chart. That's pretty cool. Now, it's adjusting pretty fast to exposure. Focus is slow to catch up. There it did. White balance is not the worst. So let's go into color adjustment. Let's go into adjustments. I got auto exposure, auto white balance on. So if I want to tweak the white balance, I click that. I can go right to, it does have Kelvin numbers, but I don't know if they match anything at all. Right there. Let's go back here, and I'm going to change the field of view. Now, I can't tell if it's actually, it's not optical, not with that fast of settings, but I can't tell if it's actually, you know, just doing, it's losing resolution and it's zooming, but it has 4K to deal with. And so, you know, it's very, very sharp, as we can see. I'm going to turn the brightness down just a tick. Again, seeing in my beard, I can adjust the sharpness. Oh, man, that thing's, you put that much sharpness in, and it's really awesome. You can see every single hair. My wife just did the eyebrows earlier, so, you know, maybe you won't see them. No flyaways there. So that's with the auto white balance turned on. You can see that difference there. So it's being a little bit aggressive with my skin tone, making me kind of look brown. And auto exposure. Now, this is the limitation of the software. I can turn the exposure up. Now, see, I can bring the exposure so far down that you'll see the elements in that light behind me. That's how sensitive the sensor is on this. And I came in and I had all my lights turned off. And let's do that. So let's turn auto exposure on. So I'm going to let it, it's a little bit aggressive. I'm going to turn this side light off, and I'm going to turn the main light off. And it's like nothing changed. It's that good of a sensor. Now, it's darker in my room. You can see the other camera, my $2,000 DSLR setup over there. And this one's brighter. So it's definitely able to pull that lighting up. If we give it a little bit of help, let's turn on, this was the newer light. I'm going to turn PIP on so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm adjusting the newer light in the corner, and that's helping my DSLR out a lot because it's liking that extra light that I'm getting. Maybe that's a little uneven, a little blown out, but again, best picture quality. If this was the VMAs or whatever, best picture goes to the Logitech Brio. There's just no way to quantify, you know, the quality that you get on a 4K webcam. A name like Logitech, you get a lot of software. Gosh, you're seeing wrinkles. I don't need to worry about that now. Come on. Yeah, it's super cool. And so it's got saturation, so I can turn that up and down if I'm looking a little too bright. The one thing I'll say, the auto exposure leaves a lot to be desired because, now here's another thing. I don't know if it's going to do it. Do you guys notice that my sign just gets dark? I'm bringing up my coffee cup. Now, this is the one I use every day right now. I've switched over to it almost exclusively. This is the Logitech, as we talked about. This is the Brio 4K or Brio or 4K, depending on what they call it that week. Best Picture Award. Can you guys see what it's doing? Every time I move my coffee cup, I'm dimming and I'm brightening. And I'm dimming and I'm brightening. Which is great because the auto exposure, when I whip something in front of it, it can dim out and it comes back and it dims out and it comes back, which is awesome. As a streamer, if you didn't have the money for a DSLR and you're a game streamer, I would go with the Logitech Brio. There are some other models that it competes with. Epos Vox has a lot of really cool content related to this, but you know, right now, let's go talk about what it costs. So we were looking at the Anker Logitech Brio. So it's $169.99. It's on Prime with free returns. Looks like it'll be here Friday, so it's doing the 2-day shipping thing. It is solid. It is really solid Ultra HD. It definitely has the low light performance. I had all the lights off in here except one monitor going. I walked by my Zoom call that was still going, and you could read the monitor, and everything else was black, but there was no noise in it. It wasn't doing that really super angry, noisy stuff. Really, really happy with that. That's the Logitech Brio. We're getting to the end of the program here. There is one left that I need to show you, and it is so cool. I have to say, this is the headliner of the evening if there was one. So again, Brio's best picture quality winner. There are 3 different apps that you can use with the Logitech Brio. The limitation is the no gain ISO. You can use it with camus, and you can fix that. Picture quality is exceptional, 4K 30 capability, all of the above. So really, really great product. The next one is the one that's been sitting on this corner here the whole time. I think you guys are going to like it. I think, let me go back out here and get it set up for you, because it has one of the most unique features of all of the products that we're going to look at here. It is the Coolpo Huddle Panna, it's called. And, these guys sent it over to me. It was somehow related to the Tenvis because they saw my work that I had done. And they sent this to me free of charge, again, for a fair and honest review, which I will be doing. And it is not a cheap, by any stretch of the imagination, device, but it is a very exclusive and perfect device for, Rose, the Brio is such a nice looking camera, isn't it? I love that. This device that I'm about to show you, this Coolpo, is a 360-degree webcam. And it's the only one like it in the stream today. I don't know the resolution. It says 1080p, but, it doesn't look like that. And the sensor is going to have to be much higher, because when I switch over to this thing, it's going to blow you away. Now, again, these guys are really cool. They're trying to come out with a newer product. It competes with the Owl. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Owl. That's a similar product out there. There are some good things and there's some bad things. The white balance isn't adjustable, and my room is fairly difficult. So I'm going to go, yeah, Joseph, the Brio is a hands down winner. Yeah, well, the M50 HDMI, good point. Good point. Okay, I'm going to pull this one up here in Zoom. So we're on the Brio, and it's going to be a pretty drastic shift. I actually have to plug it in to make it work. I'm going to unplug the Brio just to free up my USB bus a little bit. This one takes 2 inputs. It's going to have a power input, because it's going to need a lot more power. It's a full conference speakerphone as well as a speaker, and it's got mute. So when I hit the mute, the bottom will change, hopefully. So the color changes slightly on the bottom to indicate mute. But, hopefully you guys can see that. It's got this blue ring around the bottom. I'm going to hit the button, and you guys are going to get to see the Coolpo Panna in all of its glory. This is in Zoom, mind you. Now, I'm going to get my other mug out of the way. This is my entire studio on the bottom. Now, how do I know that? Remember our eye test chart? That's there. Do you see the bottom? It's going to 180, and then it goes around. So my eye tester can't fool this thing, and it goes all the way around. If I take my finger and I rotate it all the way around, this is one of the coolest products I've gotten to show. Let me know what you think in the Amazon chat or in the YouTube chat. Have you ever seen anything like this? I'm going to pull up the Coolpo Tools software. Software leaves a little bit to be desired right now. Again, I haven't done a full official product review on this yet. It has the capabilities. Again, I need to stop streaming it so that I can pull that up. So I'm gonna stop the video for a second. I'm gonna bring myself in down here so you can see me. I'm gonna switch to a different input, and then I'm gonna restart this software. So default and exit, and then we'll go to Coolpo Tools, because you can actually see it in the preview here. It should show it. There it goes. Again, I don't think it's going to let me scale, but maybe I can zoom it. Let me try with my zoom controls. It's pretty close. I'll take myself off of here so you guys can see. Again, colors are much better than they were in the zoom. It's looking at a different angle. Now, did you guys see that? Okay, I'm going to walk around my studio. I don't get to do this very often. This is why I'm wearing a headset. I am walking around. I've got a whole bunch of parts over here. Now, I did configure it earlier, and I don't know if it's on it. These are parts that vendors have sold, or sent. I've got some water here in case I needed it. I'm walking Now it's not using this microphone. Oh, do you see how it just shot back? I told it to go there. I said that was like a no-go zone from a zoom perspective, but now it's following me all the way around the room. You're going to have to tell me if this is cool. So that is the follow mode that it's got there, and it's got the 360 pano section. I can turn the panoramic section off and just use it as a camera. Again, it's seeing the ceiling. That's how wide angle this thing is. Now it's on auto. If I can trick it, I can maybe get it to see multiple sources. No, I'm not able to do that. I'll just force it into multi-source mode. It's going to look for other sounds that it sees, and it's going to isolate on them, and it's going to move around. So it's going to have some sophisticated algorithms in there, and it's actually trying to find different people in this room. It is doing what a $10,000 camera rig in a conference room would do. So this device sitting on your desktop can split window. It can do a dual split window. It can do, a full with a panorama on the bottom here. And whatever you save it as, again, you can adjust this brightness of it. I can, bring the picture up a little bit. I can customize the location. I can say, hey, you know what? Actually, I know I'm always going to be sitting right here. Zoom in, and that's what I want to look like. And again, it's, to me, that view is not 1080p necessarily, but that's okay because it's a 360-degree camera. So if you have this need to do a multi-user stream in a room with automatic face detection, automatic sound, and it's got 4 microphones that are not geolocating, echolocating. No, that's a dolphin. No, that are locating me in the room and any others. You could have it go into auto mode, and it'll do that. And again, when I save this, now I told you before I blocked out certain areas of my screen, which I did on purpose. I'm gonna zoom back out so you guys can see it. So this is another area where you can say, hey, don't actually let them see what's over there in high resolution. They can still see it in the panorama. But yeah, this is from last night. I said, don't let them see what's in that corner. I didn't finish painting. So yeah, I didn't want you guys to see that I didn't finish painting that corner, but you can see it in the block view there. So that's the Coolpo Huddle Panna. Again, there's been some software updates for it. There's been a few different things. I'm going to save these settings. Let's make sure I got the settings where I want. So I'm on fixed mode. Save and exit. I'm going to go back over to the Coolpo, and I'm going to turn it back on. And there it is. It is the most unique product I've seen. It is most unique. Big Brother's following you, Joseph says. I love it. Again, you guys can see my pin code when I'm holding it down here because, well, that camera's on. No, because we have this 360 carousel along the bottom. One of the coolest things I've seen. So this is the Coolpo. Let me pull it up on the carousel because I want you guys to see exactly this one. These guys did something really cool, and I'm going to turn it on right now. The promo code is on. I'm going to return to my live stream here. There is a promo code for this thing, which makes the exceptional price more reasonable. This is a device that is very unique. Now it's funny because I'm not talking to it. I need to put it more. No, there goes the Logitech because it doesn't have a threaded base. But let's put this over here where I can see it a little bit better. Okay, yeah. And again, it's locating me. I love that. So it's locating that sound. But this is a device, if you have a conference room table in the middle of a room, and you don't want to invest in 6 web cameras, this is one that you could easily pick up, throw it together with a small laptop or even a television in the corner. Their videos, I'm going to go over to the website here because I want to show you that. This is totally true. What it's doing is exactly what it shows here. It has that 360 detection. It has the 4 smart microphones. It does split the room up. It works with really anything that has a standard UVC camera input, so there's no software that you necessarily have to put on. The Coolpo software does make it really work well. Yeah, one of the neatest products that I've seen is the Coolpo Huddle Panna AI-powered camera. And that's what we're showing now. This one is probably the most innovative product, again, I've seen when it comes to webcams in quite a while. One of their competitors, the Owl, is much more expensive. Let's talk about the special that they have today for us. Not only, they had a sale and it ended and it was before this live stream. So not only did they do a $100 off coupon, so you can check that on the website when you're checking out. You get $40 extra for being on Prime, which is cool, for being a Prime member. And if you use this promo code, which I've plugged in here, again, this is the advantage of being on the Amazon Live, being on this live stream, you can get this promo code. It's Coolpo5BM. You'll get an additional 9% off. So what does that do to it? It drops it below $500. Now, these things go up to $1,000 easily. It's on sale. If I go back to the page, I have to be very careful with prices here. Right now, the current price on sale price was $647. You got the $40 Prime savings with that. You check that, you get the additional 100. It's stackable. You add in the promo code, and you get this thing down to $487. So this is the Coolpo Panna, Huddle Panna, and it's a 360-degree webcam. Again, nothing like it. It's hard to compare it to the other webcams that we have, but just a super duper unique field of view, a unique offering, a unique item. And I will be doing a more full in-depth video review of this product soon if you're more curious about that. So with that, I wanted to come back here and let you guys know that that is essentially the products that I wanted to show you today. This is going to be the best conference tool winner for sure. If you're curious about any of these products, they're down in the carousel. This is what I'm calling the award show. So the best picture quality went to the Logitech Brio, hands down, best picture quality. The up-and-coming player, every single time they update the firmware, it gets better and better. That's going to be for your Anker PowerConf C300. Best overall value is going to be the Avermedia Cam 313. If you don't have a lot of money to spend and you want a great webcam with a built-in ring light, then none of these have lights built in, the Jiga webcam, Jiga webcam, is there. Solid performer. The NexiGo, it did better today, when we're this lighting setup that we have here. So I would call that the solid performer. My best wide angle, I love that thing. It is the Tenvis webcam. You have to do some tuning with some customization of the exposure and stuff and the lighting. But again, my men's group uses this very successfully to get that almost 120 degree. I think it's about 110 degree field of view. So one of the widest field of views. The one with the widest field of view, 360 degrees, the best conferencing tool out there is for sure the Coolpo Huddle Panna. Did want to talk real briefly about what's coming up next on the show. So I'm just scooting back to that here. I did show you all of these products down here. A doorbell showcase. I've got a lot of doorbells, a box full of them, of wired, well, what are you going to call them? Smart doorbells. It's not just a box of switches. But no, I have a wired doorbell collection that are smart doorbells, video doorbells, and the wireless battery operated ones as well. So I've got some options there. XTC sent me one. It's really cool. And that's coming up next week. So I'm going to do a doorbell showcase. My mailman thinks like he's at a different house every time because my doorbell keeps changing and moving. It's pretty funny. So that's coming up. I do have a lot of wireless earbuds sitting out here. A couple from the Wise company that they sent over, which is awesome. Soundcore, Anker, love you guys. They've got some really cool stuff. Edifier makes some really cool, interesting ones, and I've been using those this last week and went to the dentist and sat in the dentist chair and got to use those. So if you're in the market for a set of earbuds, that's going to be coming up, and that showcase is going to be on the 29th. So Wednesday, 2 weeks from today at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, we'll do the wireless earbud showcase. Those are interesting products to show on here. If you got any ideas on how I'm going to show those, let me know. And then lastly, like I said, Wise just sent me above my shoulder here. They're actually two different boxes. It's funny because the light strands kind of go together. They've got their Wise Light Strip and their Wise Light Strip Pro. One is an addressable RGB light strip, and one of them is a regular RGB light strip. They're all smart, so you can plug them in with Alexa. I think one of them is even waterproof or water resistant. I don't want to promise anything that I can't guarantee. But if you're interested in seeing that and seeing a test of their LED light strips, I think I got to upgrade the studio a little bit more. So you might see some cool dancing LED, chasers or something. This has been John, the Net Guy, for Amazon, doing an Amazon live show. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, pump them in the chat real quick there, and I'll see if I can answer them. If you want to see anything else about the many various great products that are here, let me show you how to do that real quick. If you go over here to Amazon, I'm going to put the follow link up there on the top. If you just type in on your URL, you type in amazon.com/shop/the net guy, it's going to take you to whenever I'm live streaming. It's going to show here. It's kind of chicken and the egg. You're seeing this stuff. You're going to see the product carousel for this show. You're also going to see the webcams, some PC tune-up live stream I did. Mount Pro was awesome. They sent out a bunch of monitor arms. I did a bunch of streaming for them. So you can bring this website up and you'll be able to go in here, and I also have a Wise product line section. So that is the netguy.com, or sorry, the amazon.com/shop/the-net-guy is the way to go. So again, I don't see any new chat questions, so I'm going to call that a successful live stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully it was useful to you. If you do want to purchase anything that's on the carousel, I do earn a tiny, tiny commission off of every sale, which is something I thank you guys for making my dreams come true and allowing me to do this. Hopefully it was informative, and hopefully you learned a lot about these items here. And if you do have any questions, catch me in a future stream, and I would love to interact with you. Thank you guys all for watching, and we're going to call that one a wrap.